Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, welcome to my channel. My name is Jackie and let's get started. For DIY number one, I'm taking one of these frames from the Dollar Tree. I really like it because it's a pretty good substantial size. It's pretty nice. The only problem is the frame itself is a plastic frame, so it's too much of a challenge to paint. I mean, I could probably go in with some Mod Podge and paint it all, but I'm not going to do all that. So I'm going to begin with just removing these little prongy things, and once I get them all off, I'm going to go in with some of this jute twine from Walmart, and I'm going to adhere a little bit of it with a little bit of glue onto one of the sides of the frame. And I'll use my little silicone spatula so I don't burn my hand, and I'm going to wrap around it maybe a good 5 times, just because I want to embellish this frame a little bit, since painting it would be a little bit too much. And so once I do 5 times around that side, I'll do 5 times around the other side. I don't cut it or anything, I just continue it. And I'll do this to the 2 top sides, and on the 2 bottom sides I do the same, but I do end up cutting it. So just like this. So the 2 top sides are like this, and the 2 bottoms are cut. There's no extra piece hanging. So now I'll set this aside and I'll get this portion ready. So here I'm just going to remove the cute little rose, and I'll save it for something else. And I'll remove as much of this paper as I can. I don't worry about it too much because it's not really going to matter, because I'm going to cover it up completely. Now I'm going to use one of these stick tiles from the Dollar Tree, and this one is the gray one. It's got like a little bit of distressing on it, but I think it's super cute. So I'm going to kind of guesstimate and snip off what I don't need and trim off the 2 ends. The problem with this kind of tile is when you trim the sides, then the backing is not very effective. You have to go in with hot glue to get it adhered. So you'll see me cut this, place it on, but then I go in with hot glue as well. Now I'm just going to glue the back on, and I'm going to add the glue to the jute twine. That way it's a better hold. And once that's on there, I'm going to get my jute twine and thread it through the loops that are on the top that I left hanging there. And so I'm just going to cut a piece, and I'm taking this home sign. This is galvanized metal home sign from the crafter square, and I'm going to thread the jute twine through the holes of this home sign. And once I get those threaded through there, I'm going to position to the length that I want this to hang down, and I'm going to add a dab of glue to the rope part, because being that the frame is plastic and this metal word doesn't really like hot glue, I need all the help I can get. So I'll do it on the jute twine, and it seemed to hold pretty well. So now all I have to do is tie a little knot on each side, trim off the excess, and I'm going to go in with some of this rosemary pick from Walmart. I think it's so pretty, and I'm going to snip it off, and I'm just going to add it to the inside, and I'm done. What do you guys think? Today I'm participating in a So You Think You Can Craft challenge, and our item of the month is jute twine and rope. And this challenge is hosted by Melissa over at Melissa Makes It DIY, and her co-host today is Becky from Simply Becky DIY. And as with most challenges, there'll be a playlist, so when you're done viewing my video, please head on over and watch the playlist to see what the other participants have decided to create with jute twine and rope. Okay, so let's get on with it. For DIY number 2, I'm taking one of these really pretty gold charger plates, and I'm going to remove the sticker, and I'm going to go in with some Waverly chalk paint in the color plaster, and I'm going to paint the whole thing, let it dry, set it aside. In the meantime, I'm taking one of these welcome pieces. They're like a wire, like a gold bronze wire, and I'm going to use my jute twine from Walmart, tie a little knot, and I'm gonna go watch a good movie, and I'm gonna go twine this up all the way around the perimeter of this wire until it looks like this. Look how cute. So now that it's done, I'm going to adhere it and secure it with a little dab of glue. Hold it down, snip off the excess, and now I'm going to go in with my lighter and I'm going to burn off all the fuzzies. This jute twine didn't have a lot of fuzzies. It's not like the Dollar Tree twine that has a lot of fuzzies, but you know, I love to burn the fuzzies, so I had to do it. So here's my charger plate, nice and dry, and I'm going to go in with some of this Waverly antique wax, and it's made by Plaid. So as you guys know, I'm a Plaid ambassador now. So all I'm going to do is take a very little tiny bit of this antique wax, and I'm going to go over all of these little beaded areas just to highlight them and make them look really pretty. And so I'm just going to continue until it's highlighted, and I'm also going to do the little edge that's at the base of, or that's in the middle of this charger plate, and that's just to give it a little bit more definition. And I'll do a little bit more on the inside as well, but not a lot, just a tiny little bit, just whatever's left on my brush. And once I get it like I want it, then I'm going to set it aside so it'll dry. In the meantime, I'm taking this buffalo plaid ribbon that I had. It's just the last little bit of it, and it was from the fall time at Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to create a simple little bow. I really like this buffalo check ribbon because it's wired and it's thick, and it makes a really fluffy kind of bow. It's really soft ribbon, and it just makes a really pretty bow, I think. So I'm just going to make a quick little bow, and I'm going to dovetail the ends. And once I get that done, then I can go ahead and secure it to my little welcome wire, I guess a door hanging, I guess it's a door hanging. It's not really a wreath. I guess it's 4 wreaths. But I'm just going to add a dab of glue, and I'm just going to adhere it on there. It doesn't take long. And now I'll get my charger plate. That should be nice and dry. And I'll add a dab of glue. Look how cute. I'll add a dab of glue to the back, and I'll add a jute twine hanger to the back, and I'm done. What do you guys think? For DIY number 3, I'm taking one of these really pretty wood look picture frames from the Dollar Tree, and it's really pretty, and it's an 8x10, so it's a really nice size. The problem with this frame is that it was broken. There's glass everywhere, so I ended up getting it for 50 cents, which was a really good deal for me because I don't need the glass. So I'm just going to very carefully remove all these shards of glass. I don't need them. And look at the frame, it's pretty. So I'm going to go in with some Waverly chalk paint in the color plaster. And with my little chunky chippy brush from Dollar Tree, I'm just going to add a tiny little bit of paint, and I'm just going to lightly brush it on the frame, going with the grain. And look what it does to it. Wow. It just highlights all of the raised parts of the frame. And you can see all the wood grain. So pretty. Look at that. Wow. So I'll just get it like I want it. Allow it to dry. Set it aside for a second. In the meantime, I'm taking some scrapbooking paper that I had on hand. And I'm going to just place it on my back part of the frame and kind of cut it with my finger utility knife, and place it in my frame like this. So now I'm taking some of these really pretty shells from the Dollar Tree. And when I found these at the Dollar Tree, oh my goodness, I was so excited because these shells are beautiful. They are really pretty, and there's all kinds of sizes in there. So I was excited to use this. So here I am taking them out, and I'm trying to choose the smallest ones. So first I decided to do 3, but then I changed my mind and decided to do 4. So what I'm doing is I'm making flowers out of these shells. Yes, and look how cute. So here I decided to do the 4, and I was hoping that there was enough of the tiny ones because some of them are pretty big. My frame is not that big. It's 8 by 10, but I mean it's not a 11 by 13 or 17. So now here I'm taking some of this nautical rope, now that I have my shells placed where I want them, and I'm going to just snip off. Well, first I'm going to remove this plastic part. I don't need it. And I'm going to figure out how long I want my stem of my flowers to be. So I'm using my EMT shears and snipping it because this rope is hard to cut with regular scissors, I tell you. So here I have it all in place. And I'm going to also go in with some of this jute twine I've been using all day. And I'm just going to make a quick little bow. And those are going to represent the leaves on my flowers. So I'll do 2 of those. And right now I'm just placing everything how I want them before I commit to the glue. And so I'm also going to take some of this white nautical rope, and I'm just going to cut a tiny little bit, like literally like it's like 2 inches or less of it. And I'm just going to take it apart and just use 2 strands. These strands will be the center of my flower with a little pearl in the center of it. How perfect. So just like that, I'm going to glue it all up. And now I'm just going to add one of these cute little laser cuts from the Dollar Tree. And this one is the cute little angel fish. And I'm just going to add a little dab of glue to the back. And I couldn't decide if I wanted to be swimming away or swimming towards the little underwater flowers. But I ended up doing to the left, swimming away. But look how cute. What do you guys think? Well, I'd like to thank Melissa over at Melissa Makes It DIY and Becky over at Simply Becky DIY for hosting and co-hosting this So You Think You Can Craft challenge, with twine and rope being our item of the month. I had fun, and please don't forget to go to my description box and follow the link to the playlist, and I'll also pin it in my comments. And I sure hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet. And until my next video, stay healthy, safe, and strong, and have a great, great day. Bye-bye.